What's up, YouTube? So, I just want to kind of give some of my immediate thoughts after the Miami Dolphins' first preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. I do have some notes in front of me, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I also have some of the stats pulled up as well. Before I get into the actual game itself, one thing I kind of want to mention: the Dolphins, I think, need to work on the field a little bit too. Um, I think the actual grass itself was pretty torn up this game, like right away. Both the Dolphins and Falcons were kind of slipping all over the place, especially along a certain sideline as well. So that is something I kind of wanted to mention that I would like to see us clean up a little bit. Um, Also, on just an NFL standpoint, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole replacing the chain gang. I like the idea of replacing the chain gang. I've wanted them to do that for a while, but I'm not sure how well I trust the AI to decide those things. I know it really works for tennis, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see a little bit more of that before I feel confident in it. But anyway, moving on to this game in particular, though. Pretty good game. Um, Definitely seen a lot. I'll start with the offense. Starting at quarterback, we are having a bit of a battle for number two between Skylar Thompson and Mike White. The more I'm thinking about it, and the more I'm looking at this roster, it might hurt, but I kind of only want to keep one of these dudes. We have so many defensive backs that are really good. We're going to need a lot of depth on D-line. Like, it's going to be tough to keep three quarterbacks this year. So far, I've liked what I've seen from Skylar Thompson a little bit more. He went 8 for 19, 95 yards, a touchdown, interception. Mike White went 4 for 14 for 26 yards. Neither one of them played particularly great. Of course, Mike White came in the second half, and at that point, he had even less quality receivers because we really didn't play any of our starters tonight. But I still wanted to kind of mention that. And also, one thing I will say on the passing game, the receiving core really wasn't creating space a whole lot. So there is that. I mean, our leading receiver was Tanner Connor, who got hurt again, by the way. That's really unfortunate. We'll have to see exactly what he's going to be looking at. He did get 3 catches for 70 yards, so he had a pretty decent day today before he got hurt. But after that, like the next most receiving yards is Jeff Wilson, who also had some drops. But he went for 18 yards and a touchdown, so that's cool in the receiving game. After that, there really wasn't a lot. Only 12 completions on the day as a whole between both quarterbacks. But like I said, there really wasn't much separation being made. Now, neither quarterback was making great throws. Like, there was a lot of inaccuracies as well. So, I mean, there is that. The running game looked really good. Jalen Wright looked fantastic. He had 10 carries, 55 yards, so 5.5 yards per carry and a touchdown. He looked fantastic. Bursty, explosive, just really, really good. Jeff Wilson and Chris Brooks, neither one of them looked incredibly impressive. I assume Jeff Wilson just takes that 4th spot. I like Chris Brooks a lot, but I don't know how he makes this team because I don't know how we keep more than 4 running backs with the other positions right now. It really is a tough spot, but Jalen Wright just kept on making big plays. The offensive line looked better than I was expecting. Now, of course, the Falcons didn't play a lot of their starters either. I am going to take a closer look at the offensive line before I give my full analysis on that. But for the most part, it looked pretty good. Patrick Paul, I think, played the whole game. I wasn't really looking for him at the end of the game, but I know he was playing up to the 4th quarter. I don't know if he played through the entire 4th quarter. I imagine he did. If you've already played him that long, you may as well let him finish the game at that point. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about on the offense. Keon Smith got hurt. Gonna have to take a look at that. Driscoll playing center was interesting. Wasn't really expecting that, but that was interesting. That might have just been more of a thing of just trying to get 5 people out there. Braylon Sanders looked pretty bad. He had a pretty bad drop. None of the receivers really looked great. Willie Snead looked real bad. We ran the ball really well as a whole, pretty much the whole game, so that was good. The offensive line was making some pretty good run blocks. I got a lot more to talk about with the defense. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Jaquan Burton, wide receiver, rookie, he also got injured, so we're going to have to take a look at that. He's kind of a back-of-the-roster receiver, though, so, I mean, there is that. But let's get on to the defense, because I actually have a little bit more to say about the defense. Man. Patrick McMorris balled the hell out. He had 7 total tackles today. He was hitting hard, too. Coming down, making tackles. So that was really good to see. He had some pretty good pass breakups as well. So I really liked what I seen from him. Grayson Murphy, edge rusher, another rookie. He was playing really well. He's had a really good camp, too. But he did seemingly get hurt. He got injured, came back to the game, and then went back to the locker room. So we're going to have to see about that. I really hope it's not like a long-term thing because we're already so beat up at edge. It's crazy. Ethan Bonner continued to play well. Syrian Neal played really well. I'm just kind of looking at DBs right now. Nick Needham made a couple of plays, but he's safe anyway just because he plays corner and safety. I think that pretty much locks him up. Also, I do want to mention, too, Malik Washington, while he didn't do a whole lot in the receiving game, he did look really good as a return man. I just wanted to mention that really quick. Storm Duck made some pretty good plays. Isaiah Johnson, another rookie corner, also made some pretty damn good plays as well. The bottom of that cornerback room is going to be tough. I'm not really sure how that ends up. I don't know how many we're going to keep. I feel like we got to keep at least 7 corners, just because of how good some of them are. Like it's insane. Moving on to the D line, the interior D line actually looked pretty good. Like we were actually stopping the Falcons' running game pretty well. Yeah, none of the running backs really got off. Like Jace McClellan had 30 rushing yards on 9 attempts. Like that was their best runner today. They really didn't have a lot of success in that regard. So I'm thrilled with that. Mack had some pretty damn good plays as well. Yeah, Isaiah Mack. That one play where he basically caught the quarterback's snap was insane. He was really looking explosive all day. And overall, the defense, too, I loved seeing how well we were attacking. It felt like our defense was pretty passive for the most part last year, and this year in this game, we were just attacking, even though it was a preseason game. And also, there was a lot of variety in what we were doing. We were doing some cover 3. We were doing a lot of things. We did some cover 2. We had 2 deep safeties. We did single high. We disguised our safeties where it would look like 2 deep safeties, but one of them would shift the second the play starts. We did press coverage. We did off coverage. We were doing a bunch of different unique blitzes. Channing Tindall actually got a really hard-hitting sack off of one of those disguised blitzes. Did get to show off some of his explosiveness there. Brandon Peely made some pretty good plays. Deshaun Hand made some plays. overall, like, the defense looked really good. Like I said, Patrick McMorris was balling out pretty much the whole game. Zeke Vandenberg also got hurt again, which is unfortunate. He got hurt last year and was out all year. Hopefully that's not too bad. He's actually gotten a lot of playing time in training camp just because we're pretty light at linebacker right now. Another thing I noticed, too, we were playing Cam Brown at edge, which is interesting. He's been more of a stand-up linebacker in my eyes. But, I mean, it might have just been down to us needing edge rusher depth. We didn't have a whole lot of edge rushers playing tonight, it seemed. So that might have been more of a necessity thing. He didn't really do a whole lot at edge from what I've seen. I'm going to watch the game again. And I'm hoping that they give us the all-22s for preseason like they did last year. That'd be great. Let's see. Like I said, Channing Tindall did make a couple of plays, not just off that disguised blitz. He did make a couple other plays as well. Leonard Payne made a pretty good play at the end of the game. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much mostly what I had to say. Jason Sanders as well made some interesting kicks. He made like one really long kick and then missed another one, so that's kind of whatever. It was also interesting to see that Jake Bailey and Jason Sanders are kind of trading off, it seems, with the kickoff, just kind of seeing which one is going to end up being better at it and kind of seeing how all that works. Let's see. Yeah. Overall, like I said, I really want to see our passing game improve. I think that will happen just because I assume next game we'll probably have at least a couple more of our receivers playing. We'll have to see if we can get like Braxton Berrios and people like that healthy enough to play. Because they're fighting for roster spots too, in my opinion. I mean, our receiving core is stacked right now. So it's going to be a dogfight. But the passing game is definitely going to have to improve for sure. I would like to see Mike White come out first next time. Because I don't really need to see Tua play in preseason, really. Just let him do the joint practices. I think that'll be fine. Let him come in week 1. I don't really need to see him in preseason. Maybe for like a drive. That's really it. I don't need to see a whole lot of Tua. But I do want Mike White and Skylar Thompson to really fight for this number 2 spot in these next 2 games because I want to cut the one that loses. So Skylar Thompson started this game out. I would like Mike White to start the game out and then Skylar Thompson take the second half next game. That's what I would like to see. Because, yeah, Mike White did play a lot worse than Skylar, but he had even worse receivers. Like, when Skylar was out there, you know, he had River Craycraft out there for a little bit, Malik Washington, Braylon Sanders, but Mike White had a lot worse. Like, he had Kyrick McCowan, who actually made a couple of plays, and we were actually using him for some punt return stuff as well. But he had, like, Jaquan Burton, Willie Snead, Mike Harley, who I don't think they're really using right. He's more of a nuanced route runner. You can do gadgety stuff with him, but they were trying to do too many end arounds. Like, he can do that. But really, just let him run routes. Also, on that play where Mike White scrambled for that first down at the end of the game, Mike Harley, I think, was open as well. Like, I think he actually managed to get himself open at one point. I'll have to look back at that on film. But, yeah. I mean, either way, I don't think Mike Harley is making this roster. His receiving core is too damn stacked. But I just wanted to mention that. But, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to kind of give some of my just immediate thoughts as I was watching the game and everything like that. But, yeah, just happy football's back, really. I will be watching this game probably a couple of times to get my opinion. Try to pick up some of the things I missed. Like I said, hopefully NFL Plus gives us the all-22s for preseason like they did last year. And I'll be watching that. And I'll try to get some film sessions up there, too, if they do the all-22s. Because when I do broadcast view, 9 times out of 10 it gets blocked. So it's sometimes not even worth the effort. I mean, I'll try. Like, if they don't do the all 22s, I'll try to get something dropped, but it's probably gonna get blocked. But regardless, anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.